Hello, good afternoon guys. Welcome back to our lesson video for the third quarter in Mathematics 9. We are now in quarter 3, week 3, and we are using module number 3 in two parts. The topic is on quadrilaterals. Specifically, we will be discussing on the properties of trapezoids with the following objectives to attain in this video lesson. First objective is to determine the conditions that make a quadrilateral a trapezoid. Second objective is to use these properties to find the angles, sides, and other quantities involving trapezoids. So to start up with the lesson on trapezoids, specifically its properties, lesson 1. So we will start with a recall or recap of the different properties of special parallelograms through this activity. So if we will recall on special parallelograms, the following are rectangle, square, and rhombus. So we have more or less 4 or 3 examples or items for us to do on our recap. So you have there on the screen the diagram and the parts of the different special parallelograms, and on the right side of the screen is the space for the explanation of their answers. So the first item we have is the parallelogram itself. So we have there the parts. Side A, opposite is 8. We have on the right side, side B. On the left side is 5. And there are two given angles below, the left and the right bottom angles. So how are we going to answer for side A, side B, and the value of x of the two given angles below the parallelogram? So to start up answering for side A and side B, we have the following answer. Side A is 8 while side B is 5, since opposite sides are parallel and congruent to each other. So obviously, bang sa side A is 8. So obviously, ang measurement sa side A is 8 while the measurement of side B is 5. How about for the variable x on the given two angles below the parallelogram? So the value of x is 8. Why? Yung sa siya pagkuha. Since consecutive angles are supplementary to each other, so nagsunod no? Doon yung angles nga nasa bottom na nagsunod when they are added, it is equivalent to 180. So by solving algebraically, we add the first given angle, which is presented by 3x minus 4 degrees, added by the second angle 3x plus 16 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So in the solution that you have seen, ako rang ignore ang parentheses at the same time ang degree nga symbol. So pwede ra gina siya when solving. Yeah. Wala po ang degree symbol sa 180. So wala. Nawag ta ang parentheses, nawag ta ang degree nga symbol. It is okay. So next step is to group the terms that have the variable x. So 3x plus 3x is 6x. Negative 4 plus 16 or 16 minus 4, it is positive 12 equal to 180. Then we transfer positive 12 to the right side. So ma-minus na siya, no? Explanation na niya, addition property of equality. So 180 minus 12 muna 168 equal to 6x on the left side. And to solve for the variable x, the value of x is 28. Why? We divide 6 both sides. 6x divided by 6 and 168 divided by 6 is 28. So, the value of x is 28. Kung pangitaon gani mo ang exact angle measurement sa left side o right side nga bottom, imo rang i-substitute ang values sa x ngadto sa expression sa left angle o sa right angle. Okay? So, depende ra gina siya sa mga gipangita. Okay, second example as part of recap of special parallelograms. We have here a diagram on rectangle and one diagonal. And the given are the following. Okay, angle ARE represented by x plus 30 degrees and angle FER which is represented by 2x minus 10 degrees. So, if makarecall taani sa first module sa third quarter, this is part of what we call transversal, no? Transversal line creates alternate interior angles. So, ang angle ARE is congruent with angle FER. So that will be part of our solution and its explanation. Since the two given angles are alternate interior angles, then the two angles are congruent such that the measure of angle FER, ang kaning right side, upper right side, is equal to the measure of angle ARE, which is on the upper left angle. So by solving algebraically, since the two angles are congruent, they are equal. So therefore, ang ilang mga given iatbang side equal. 2x minus 10 is equal to x plus 30. Then grouping of variable x, so 2x minus x. Di na gikan ang minus x, gikan na siya sa positive x sa right side. And ibalhin, change operation, minus. Then bring down positive 30. Nganong plus 10 na siya? Okay, di na gikan plus 10. Ang minus 10 or negative 10 sa left side, ini-transfer na niya sa right side sa equation, it will change its operation. So, imo siyang plus 10. So, 30 plus 10 is 40, while 2x minus 1x is x or 1x. Or simply x is equal to 40. But, if we are to look for the exact measurement of angle ARE and angle FER, we will substitute the value of x, which is 40, to the given expression. Okay, that one. So to solve for the measure of angle FER, kaning right side ng angle, and angle ARE, substitute x is equal to 40 to the given expressions. Okay, ganun siya. So 2 times 40 is 80 minus 10, 70 degrees. So dapat ang angle ARE should also be 70. Where in the given expression of angle ARE is x plus 30. So when x is 40, so 40 plus 30 is 70 degrees. Therefore, their angles are congruent. The third item for the recap is square with a given CARE with intersection at S. Nga given CE is equal to 6. Saan ng CE? Okay, ang left side of the square. Now, so sa properties of square, that its four sides are all equal. So if CE is 6, ER is also 6, AR is also 6, and CA is also 6. So, sige pangita. Ipangita ang ER. Saan ng ER? Okay, another side of the square, and AR is also another side of the square. And both of them have measurement 6, since all sides of the square are congruent. Another thing to look for is the measure of angle CSA. Where is CSA? CSA. Okay, maro siya ang angle S because we can name an angle man using one letter or three letters. So to i-ID nato ani sa properties of the square. The intersection of two diagonals of a square are perpendicular to each other. So therefore, the effect of intersecting diagonals that are perpendicular to each other creates 90 degrees at the center. Upat ka 90 degrees. So therefore, the measure of angle CSA is 90 degrees since two diagonals of a square are perpendicular to each other and therefore it creates four right angles at the center. So ang angle CSA, ASR, RSE o ESC, puro sila 90 degrees. Ang upat ka angles nga nasa center are all 90 degrees each. Another we need to look for is measure of angle 2. Angle 2 is half of the right angle, no? Kaya ang tanong, corner angle sa square puro tag 90 degrees. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. So, ang diagonals bisect each other. At the same time, it bisects its opposite angles. So motungaon niya ang angle A, tungaon niya ang angle E, tungaon niya ang angle C, ang tungaon niya ang angle R into two equal angles. So therefore, ang katunga sa 90 degrees is 45 degrees. Okay. So that ends with our third item for the recap. Another item for our recap is rhombus. We have rhombus PLOT with intersection at X. So we will recall the properties of the rhombus. So more or less, it has the same properties of a square. The sides of the rhombus are all the same, but the diagonals are not equal. Diagonal PO is shorter than diagonal LT. So therefore, PX is equal to XO, while LX is equal to TX. Ang kanang TX is not equal to OX. Kaya again, ang diagonal PO is mas mubo kumpara sa diagonal LT. Okay, the given in rhombus PLOT with intersection at X. PO is 12. Asam ng 12. PO is 12. So P onto O. So the shorter diagonal is 12. So ang katunga sa 12 is 6. So PX is 6 while OX is 6. So also, di ba? Then next is measure of angle TPX. TPX is 48 degrees kaning ibabaw. To illustrate. Okay, there. Then another given is PT. Side PT, ang ibabaw is 9. Then angle TPX is 48 degrees. So sige pangita. Find measure of angle TOX. Asan TOX? TOX. Okay, ang ubos kani siya. Mara siya kaatbang ni siya sa 48 degrees. Now remember that each diagonal is a bisector of its opposite angles. So ang angle P is divided into 48 degrees binagsa, while angle O is 48 degrees. While ang angle T ug angle L mas gamay ang angle, di ba? Kay mas steeper man. So therefore, measure of angle TOX is 48 degrees since each diagonal of a rhombus bisect opposite angles P and O. So kung 48 ni ang TPX, ang TOX is also 48 ang katunga. Ang pikas katunga niya, LOX is 48, while angle LXP is also 48 degrees. So duha ka 48 pila man na 96. Ayang atbang pod angle O 96. So pangitawon na to ang angle L ug angle T. So more or less mas lesser siya sa 90 degrees. PL is 9. Okay. Since one side of a rhombus is equal to the other three sides also of its rhombus. So PL is 9 since all sides of a rhombus are congruent. OX is 6 nga naman. Sa given PO, diagonal PO is 12. So katunga sa 12, it should be 6. Therefore, OX is 6 since the segment OX is just 1/2 of diagonal PO or segment PO. Pwede gyapon siya basahon as segment or diagonal itself. Lastly, measure of angle PTX. Asan PTX? PTX. Okay. Ang kaning angle PXT at the center is 90 degrees. More or less pareho siya properties sa square, no? The two diagonals of a rhombus, when they cross each other, they are perpendicular. So therefore, ang upat ka angle nga nasa center in the middle measures 90 degrees. Okay. Since the sum, yun sa pagkuha ang angle PTX na 42 degrees. Since the sum of three angles of triangle PTX, asa man triangle PTX? Triangle PTX. Kaning ibabaw nga angle. Ang iyang sum of the three angles or interior angles of triangle PTX is 180 degrees, wherein measure of angle PXT, okay, ang kanang center nga angle PXT is 90 degrees, knowing that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. And by solving, that the first given angle is angle TPX. TPX, kanang 48 degrees. Plus measure of angle PTX, kana siya, is missing. Then measure plus measure of angle PXT, ang kanana sa tunga, which is 90 degrees, is equal to 180 degrees. So, unsa may given? Ang 48 degrees o ang 90 degrees. So, ang gipangitan nato ang measure of angle PTX. Nagyan sa siya pagkuha, gi-add na to ang 48 degrees o 90 degrees, pila na siya? 138 degrees. So, nabilin to solve is measure of angle PTX is equal to 180 minus 138. Din gikan ang 138. Pag-add to sa 48 o 90 degrees, 138 positive 138. Inibalhin sa right side, minus 138. So 180 minus 138 is 42 degrees. So that should be the third missing angle. Okay. So that ends with our recap of special parallelograms. More or less, we have 4 items that we recall. So before we start with the discussion on trapezoids, what's new? So how was it answering the activity? We were able to get the same answer as provided on the screen a while ago. Were the solutions able to guide you in recalling the past lesson on special parallelograms? Nasabtan na ba ito siya? Nakainundong tanan? Okay. Aside from learning the different properties of parallelograms, there are other 2 forms of quadrilaterals, and those are the family of trapezoids and kites, which you will discover in this video lesson or lesson video. So what is it? What should I know about trapezoids? What properties does it have as compared to special parallelograms? Okay, there are 3 kinds of special parallelograms we know: rectangle, square, and rhombus. How do we solve missing parts like angles, sides, and other quantities involving trapezoids? So muna yung mga question nga itong tubagon as we go along with our discussion on trapezoids, properties of trapezoids. So we'll start with the definition of terms. So we define trapezoid as a quadrilateral with only 1 pair of parallel side. Asa na dapita ang usara ka parisan nga parallel side? So naay duha ka side nga dili parallel. Okay. These parallel sides are known as base, and its non-parallel sides are legs. Asam na, sir? Oh, wait sa. We will continue first with the definition of terms. Another definition of terms are the following. Its perpendicular distance between the 2 parallel sides or the bases is called altitude. And lastly, each lower base angle is supplementary to the upper base angle on the same side. So supplementary, i-add no para mo 180. Yang dimension na ang each lower base angle. So ang lower left base angle i-add ra ginimo siya sa upper left left angle para mo 180. So ang right i-add po siya sa right. Okay, on the same side man. Asa na makita ang on the same side, altitude, base, and legs? Okay, there you go. So the upper base and the lower base, ang horizontal nga sides sa trapezoid are the only pair of parallel sides, while the left side and the right side are not parallel. Okay, one is vertical and the other is diagonal. So na possibility kung imo siya extend ang drawing, mag-abot sila sa ibabaw. So therefore, they are intersecting lines. They're not parallel lines. So therefore, we call the non-parallel side as legs. So, leg 1, there's a leg 2. Then the third terminology that we use is altitude. It's perpendicular distance. Not perpendicular because it is a vertical line that connects the upper base to the lower base, which is a line that connects the upper base to the lower base by perpendicularity. So therefore, it creates 90 degrees on the ground, no? on the lower base. Then ang kanang vertical line nga mara siya broken line is we called altitude. Distance between the two parallel sides. Okay? Sir, ang itong ikatulong nga statement, sir, each lower base angle is supplementary to the upper base angle on the same side. So therefore, ang kaning upper left, i-add mo sa lower left, that is 180. Yung kung tanawin mo sa diagram, 90, kung siya right angle o right angle, 180. Then, the upper right angle plus the lower right angle is also 180. They're supplementary to each other. Sila ra ang pwede magpares. Okay? That one. Duha ka right angle on the same side. Nyalain po ang duha ka angle on the right side. Upper right and the lower right. Okay, next is there is a special kind of trapezoid. We call that one as isosceles trapezoid. Kasi kalainan sa isosceles trapezoid, sir, sa trapezoid ragyod. Isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid whose legs are congruent with the following properties. Ang iyang legs, congruent, pareha. Dili para sa regular trapezoid, no? Ang dili pa to, ang one is vertical, the other is diagonal. So more or less, di sa pareha og length or measurement sa legs. Pero kani, isosceles, the legs are the same. Okay. Illustration. Okay. The legs are congruent. So, ang kanang one tick o one tick sa left and right side means they are the same. Ang upper base is not the same with the lower base ang iyang measurement. Though parallel sila to each other, but ang ilang measurement are not the same. 2 tickings, 3 tickings. Then the pair of lower and upper base angles are congruent. Pair of lower and upper base angles are congruent. So, ang duha ka upper base angle pareha sila og measurement. Ang duha ka lower base angle pareha po sa measurement. So, another property to discuss, okay, that one is or are the following. Opposite angles are supplementary. So, ang upper left angle is supplementary with the lower right angle. The upper right angle is supplementary with the lower left angle. Or, pwede two consecutive angles on the same side are supplementary. Left side plus left side, right side plus right side. Pwede gihapon na siya. Not necessarily nga across each other para supplementary. Pwede on the same side. Then the diagonals are congruent. Okay. The diagonals are congruent, but it does not bisect each other, no? Kaya dili man gid siya ingon matunga gid siya ang iyang pag-cross, dili maka-create og pareha nga length to each diagonal. Pero ang iyang kapareha ang kanang ibabaw ra sila makapareha ang length ug ang ubos ay kapareha pod sa ubos. To apply these properties to our examples, okay, we had the first example, napadalang definition of terms for us to discuss. Median of a trapezoid. So, what do you mean by median of a trapezoid? Median of a trapezoid is a segment that joins the midpoints of the two legs. Asam na siya. Wait, ato pa yung tanawon ang diagram para dili magdibo. Okay. Median of a trapezoid is a segment that joins the midpoints of the two legs. So, asang do ka legs? Left leg and the right leg. Nya asa ang median ana, sir? Segment. So, naay katulong nga parallel line. Horizontal line. At the same time, that segment is parallel to the upper base and the lower base. Nya kanan sa tunga mo nagpasabot nga median of a trapezoid is a segment that joins the midpoints of the two legs. So, ang kaning midpoint, tunga siya nga point from the left leg. Kani siya midpoint po ni siya sa right leg. So, ang connecting segment niya may gitawag median. The median is parallel to the upper and the lower base, no? Klaro kayo. And its measure, ang pag-measure aning median is equal to half the sum of the measures of the two bases. Half the sum. So, katunga sa gi-add sa upper base o lower base. So, in symbols, median represented by M is equal to the upper base plus lower base. So, kung may measurement sa upper base, i-add mo sa lower base, divided by 2. Mauna siya ang measurement sa median using this formula. Where UB is upper base and LB is lower base. Okay, that one. Okay, to continue, we'll have the various examples depicting or showing the different properties of trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid, and median. So in this discussion section, this is to visualize the set properties of a trapezoid, and we will study these few examples and how to measure angles, size, and other quantities involving trapezoid. First example, we have trapezoid LOVE, which has a measure of angle L, which is 25 degrees. Find the measure of angle E. Okay, makita sa screen. Say given, kung say missing. How do we answer that one? Measure of angle E is 155 degrees since each lower base angle is supplementary to the upper base angle on the same side. Nandun mo ganina sa properties. So by solving that one, measure of angle E plus measure of angle L is 180 degrees. Kaya supplementary man kaha. Measure of angle E is missing plus 25 degrees, which is representing measure of angle L, na equal to 180 degrees. To solve for measure of angle E, ato i-transfer ang 25 degrees ato sa 180. So i-minus siya. So 180 minus 25 is equal to 155 degrees. Gets? Okay. Second example. This one is isosceles trapezoid. TRAP. Trap is an isosceles trapezoid with CD as its median. Find X and median CD. Why did I say median? Because about dito nga kanang segment is we call median. Muna ko insert lang word nga median CD. First is to solve for the value of X. So we use the formula for the median, which is M is equals to upper base plus lower base divided by 2. Wherein the median is represented by 5x plus 11. Kuha na siya expression, hindi man siya whole number, no? So kung unsay gi-represent sa M, which is median, mo to isuwat. And our median is represented by segment CD, wherein ang iyahang value is 5x plus 11 is equal to the upper base 11 plus lower base 61 divided by 2. Next, to eliminate this denominator 2, aton i-cross multiply ang 2 ngadto sa left side, which is 5x plus 11. Okay. Ang kaning left side nga 5x plus 11 is considered whole number. Its denominator is over 1. So in i-cross multiply, 2 multiply sa 5x plus 11. So that will become, pwede gyapon i-cross multiply or i-divide, i-add ang gibuhat nako dinhi, i-add nako ang numerator on the right side. 11 plus 61 is 72. 72 divided by 2 is 36. So pwede ra i-cross multiply, pwede gyapon i-add ang right side and divide by 2. 136. Next, para to solve for x, ang kaning plus 11 inibalhin nga to sa right side mahimong minus 11. So 5x is equal to 36 minus 11. What is 36 minus 11? 25. So 5x is equal to 25. To solve for x, we divide both sides by 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. So therefore the value of x is 5. To solve for the second item, which is median CD, CD is equal to the expression 5x plus 11, wherein by the first solution, x is 5. So 5 times the value of x. So that will be 5 times 5 plus 11. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 11 is 36. Okay, subten. Subten that so far. Any question? Okay, for clarification, you can PM me on my messenger or in our group chat. Third example that we have to visualize under the properties of the trapezoid are the following. Pure is an isosceles trapezoid. P-U-R-E. Asa mo ng P-U-R-E? Okay, there. P-U-R-E is an isosceles trapezoid where P-E is 5x minus 1. U-R is 2x plus 5. Find the value of x and side PE. So, obviously, the two legs are congruent, no? Since the legs are congruent, then PE is equal to UR. And they're given are the following. 5x minus 1 is equal to 2x plus 5. Then grouping of variable x. So therefore, kung asa ito pinakadako nga constant sa variable x, ato yung siya mo stay. So since 5 is greater than 2x, 5x is greater than 2x, so 5 and 2x may mobalhin sa 5x. So therefore, 5x minus 2x. Di man ang dikan minus 2x. Okay, ang positive 2x sa right side, balhin minus. Then equal to 5. Positive 5 man siya. Then ang minus 1 sa left side, inibalhin plus 1. So be careful when atong layman's term na ha, when transferring a term or a variable or a number from left side to the right side or right side to the left side, change ganun yung operation. Pero ang supporting ano yung explanation is addition property of equality. Jude. So 5x minus 2x is 3x. 5 plus 1 is 6. To solve for x, divide by 3 both sides. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So our value of x is 2. So to find side PE, PE is 5x minus 1. So ato nang i-substitute ang value sa x which is 2. So to the expression PE is equal to 5x minus 1. So PE is equal to 5 times 2 minus 1. So 10 minus 1 is 9. So if ang PE is 9, UR should also be 9. Why? Maski what din ang solution, if x is 2, 2 times 2. Okay, 2 times x is 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 5, it should be 9. Okay? When two legs of an isosceles trapezoid are the same. That ends our third example. Fourth example. Isosceles HOPE or isosceles HOPE has base angles E and P. Okay, base angles o angle nga nasa obos. Angle E, angle P. Find the value of x and measure of angle E. Okay. Based on the properties, the base angles are congruent. The base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. The measure of angle E is equal or congruent to measure of angle P. So by solving algebraically, ang ilang mga given expression, 4x minus 15 should be equal to 3x plus 1. Then 4x minus 3x. So understood the meaning ng minus 3x, kaya positive 3x sa right side, ibalhin minus 3x. Bring down positive 1. Ang negative 15, inigbalhin plus 15. So 4x minus 3x is 1x or simply x. Then 1 plus 15, 16. That answers our first question on the fourth example, value of x. Next is to look for the measure of angle E. Measure of angle E, we will, one base angle. So to solve for measure of angle E, we substitute the value of x, which is 16, to the equation, which is measure of angle E is equal to 4x minus 15. Pulihan ra ang x of 16. So measure of angle E is equals to 4 times 16 minus 15. 4 times 16 is 64 minus 15, it is 49. So if measure of angle E is 49, then therefore redundant na lagi. Therefore measure of angle P should also be 49 degrees. Fifth example. Discussion time, gihapon ni siya. Fifth example. Zoid is an isosceles trapezoid where DO is equal to 19. Asa na siya? Wait. Okay. Okay, DO is diagonal. Then IZ is also diagonal. So the two diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. So therefore DO, which is 19, and IZ given 7x minus 2 are equal, no? Then find the value of x. Since the diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent, then therefore, ang DO is equal to IZ. Therefore, they're given are equal, they are being equated. 19 is equal to 7x minus 2. So what shall we do? Usar may variable x ani nga sa kaninga equation, sa kaninga solution. So ang minus 2 iipon sa positive 19. So ang negative 2 ning balhin plus 2 na siya. So 19 plus 2 is 21 equal to 7x. Then to look for the value of the variable x, divide 7 kay ang tapad sa x kay 7 man. So divide 7, divide 7. Therefore x is 3. Now if ang question is would ask you to solve for diagonal DO, hindi na siya ma-solve kaya nga naman ang DO is already given 19 man, o siya variable. So ang kaning IZ mo i-solve on, IZ is equal to 7x minus 2 when x is 3. So 7 times 3, 21. 21 minus 2 is 19. Sixth example. PART is an isosceles trapezoid with PA 18, OS 25. Find TR. So missing ani ang lower base. Ang given upper base of median. So to find the lower base TR, we use the median formula. Median is equal to upper base plus lower base divided by 2. Wherein the median is represented by OS, no, which OS is equal to the upper base, which is PA, plus lower base TR divided by 2. Ato i-substitute ang mga given ng mga numbers, wherein ang OS is 25, PA is 18, then missing ang TR, munang plus TR, then divided by 2. So kanin siya si buhaton, di man maad ang 18 sa TR. So therefore, ang kaning 2, dili siya ma-divide sa numerator niya. But instead, we cross-multiply 2 padong sa 25. So 2 times 25 is 50. Is equal to 18 plus TR. So 50, again, 25 times 2 is equal to 18 plus TR. So, sabi ng 25 times 2, 50. Yan kaning 18, i-group pa ni siya sa 50. So, ang positive 18 inibalhin, minus 18. So 50 minus 18 plus TR. Dili na siya plus TR ha, kundi equals TR ni siya. Equals TR na siya. Sorry. So therefore 50 minus 18 is 32 equal to TR. Dili na siya plus ha. Kuha na siya. Minor na siya nga error. It should be equals. Equal symbol. So therefore TR is 32. Okay, nasabtan na ba ang mga examples sa trapezoid, the 6 examples and its explanation? For more clarification, justification, you can PM me or message me on our group chats in mathematics group GC. So another example, this is our 7th example. TANG is an isosceles trapezoid with measure of angle TGA, which is 30 degrees. Measure of angle N is 75 degrees. Find measure of angle A and measure of angle AGN. Kaning ubos. Saon na siya. Relax. Opposite angles of an isosceles trapezoid are supplementary to each other such that angles T and N, angle T and angle N are opposite angles. Then measure of angle T plus measure of angle N is equal to 180. Ang atbang, angle T, angle N, i-add na sila, 180 na sila. Angle T is missing, plus measure of angle N, which is 75, equal to 180. Then to solve for angle T, ibalin ang 75 to the right side, so minus 75. So 180 minus 75. Angle T is 105 degrees. Kaya 180 minus 75, 105 degrees. Okay, that one. To solve for measure of angle A, which is one of the angles of triangle TAG, ang kaning ibabaw nga triangle TAG, na-solve naman ang angle T, no, which is 105. Yan ay kadong angle 30. So pila na angle A? To solve for measure of angle A, which is one of the angles of triangle TAG, we need to remember that for any triangle, the sum of its interior angles is 180 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle T plus measure of angle TGA, which is 30 degrees, plus measure of angle TAG, or measure of angle A, is equal to 180. So, ang angle T is 105, angle TGA is 30 degrees, then missing ang angle A is equal to 180. So, 105 plus 30, 135 na siya, no? So, 135 i-minus sa 180. Muna, measure of angle A is equal to 180 minus 135 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle A is 45 degrees. So, there is one item na wala ito ma-solve. Find measure of angle AGN. AGN. Ang kaning ubos. Tapad sa 75. To solve for angle AGN, okay, angle G. Okay, ang tibuok nga angle G, which is kaatbang sa angle N. Kung ang angle N is 75, so therefore ang tibuok angle G, well about ang 30 degrees ha, kaya part na siya sa angle G. So ang tibuok angle G, is 75. Yan na may 30. Kung tinabanon niyo siya, ang 75 huwag 30, 45. So therefore, ang angle AGN is 45. Yan sana siya. Measure of angle G is equal to measure of angle TGA, which is 30 degrees, plus measure of angle AGN, kaning bakante. I-add na sila, that comprises to what we call angle G nga tibuok, which is ang angle G parehas sa angle N. So, given angle G, if angle G is equal to angle N, therefore angle G is 75 degrees, is equal to angle TGA, which is 30 degrees, plus measure of angle AGN, which is missing. So, therefore, ang 30 minus 75. Okay, 75 minus 30 degrees is 45 degrees, which is the measure of angle AGN. Pero kung kamaon mo tinamban, ma-estimate na niya basta nali katbang niya given, pwede rin siya, dili ni siya inani pag-solve. Kana ko, insakto ang yung estimation. Okay? I guess that ends our discussion on the topic on trapezoid and its properties. This is the first part of the module number 3 na nisumpay sa next video lesson. So for your activity on what's more, write your complete solution as required for items 1 to 4. Then what I can do, the performance task, items 1 to 6. Locate this one on the last page of middle part of the module of module 3. So thank you again for listening. Hope this have helped you understanding this part of the module. So for any queries and clarification, you can message me on my Facebook through Messenger or on our group chat. Once again, thank you and good day.